2022 Marble League is underway, and the events are going to fly by. Lots has happened in the first couple weeks of the season, and just in case you missed it, I'm here with a recap through the first 4 events. As is the hopes and dreams of a Marble team, this video must start with the qualifiers. Our teams looking to qualify are as follows. As the top 3 finishers from 2021, Mellow Yellow, the Raspberry Racers, and the Gliding Glaciers are auto-qualified, along with the hosting Green Ducks. These 4 only competed in the friendly round. Let's get into the analysis of the qualifiers. A few teams made their presence known early, and due to the fact that a first place finish almost guarantees qualification, we already knew a couple teams would make it after the first event. Primary impressed in Group A, with Team Galactic showing up in Group B. They rode on the rest of the events to quite comfortably qualify for the big game. Just like clockwork, the Jungle Jumpers find themselves at the bottom of the stand. This team is really making a run for the worst team in the Marble world, finishing last in 2 of the 4 events. One of the biggest teams to watch that didn't qualify last season were the Midnight Wisps, who failed to qualify for the first time since their debut last year. They started off in the middle of the pack, but put up a second and a first in the final 2 events to not only win Group B, but lead the whole field in points. The O'Rangers and Crazy Cat's Eyes, the 2 recent Formula 1 champions, found themselves on the outside of the qualifying group late into the round. But strong finishes resulted in the 2 projected contenders just barely being part of the tournament. Heading into the final event, the Crazy Cat's Eyes sat in 10th place of 12, 7 points behind the qualifying mark. But a clutch win in the triathlon led them to qualify by just 2 points. Chocolatiers surprised alongside Team Primary as the 2 led Group A. Shining Swarm continued to stay under the radar as their consistency led them to qualify quite easily. The Indigo Stars lost out on a tiebreaker to the Balls of Chaos, who just barely did enough to overcome their 11th place in Event 3. The biggest surprise from Group A was indeed the Cobalt missing out. Well, was it a surprise? This team loves the showdown. Maybe they're trying to go for a 3rd straight showdown win. Snowballs and Rojo Rollers couldn't do enough, while the Solar Flares and Turtle Sliders just took turns getting last place. Group B was stacked. Speeders, Hazers, Galactic, Wisps, Thunderbolts, Oceanics, and Team Momo in the same group guaranteed at least one of them missing out on the competition. Because the Bumblebees decided to go off, leading the whole field after Event 3, while the Minty Maniacs and the Pinkies won Event 2 and 3 respectively, an unexpected amount of household names are missing out on the tournament. No one should really be surprised by the Oceanics, but the Thunderbolts and Team Momo both missed out after decent results last season. With the Limers disappointing as usual, Group B was decided. Midnight Wisps, Pinkies, Savage Speeders, Bumblebees, Team Galactic, Minty Maniacs, and the Hazers. 1, 2. That's 6, right? No one will ever believe it now, but I wanted to pick Team Galactic to win the whole thing this year. Their performances over the years have seemed to build up so much tension that eventually it was going to have to break, and I thought this year was going to be the year. And right away, in the first event, Team Galactic showed up. First place right off the bat is exactly what they needed to gain some confidence. This team is well organized, and they are starving for a championship. Additionally, the Balls of Chaos and Crazy Cat's Eyes shook off a scary qualifier, while the rest of the results followed with a few surprises. Most notably, the hosts got off to a terrible start, finishing 16th in front of their home fans. The Ducks are going to have to turn it around soon to keep their fans interested in this season. Event 2 felt weirdly similar to Event 1. Team Galactic followed up their goal with another, becoming the only team other than the 2019 Speeders to win back-to-back events to start the season. The Cat's Eyes and Bumblebees have good performances to stay near the top of the standings. We see the O'Rangers and Speeders off to their signature slow starts. These 2 will compete, there's no doubt, but maybe they aren't the clear favorites like in the last few seasons. When looking at the top half of these standings, we notice none of the 2019 triplets. The 2019 champs, Raspberry Racers, are currently sitting in dead last after disappointing events, while their runner-ups aren't doing much better, 13th. The Hazers aren't near the top either. They find themselves... Wait, where are the Hazers? This can't be right. Sorry, we're back. The Hazers missed the Marble League this season. They fizzled out in the qualifiers, and after 4 straight years of top 6 finishes, they won't be competing. This was heartbreaking when I was watching the qualifiers, as the Hazers were arguably once the best team in the league. Now it seems like they're on the downhill and will have to settle for the showdown. Event 3 started hot with the Green Ducks putting up the best hurdles time of anyone in the qualifiers. A much-needed ego boost for this team. The Bumblebees get 4th, and are now the only team to put up double digits in each of the first 3 events, due to Team Galactic's and the Crazy Cat's Eyes subpar Event 3 finishes. This event, though, was about the Pinkies, who won every heat they raced in, including the finals, where they comfortably took home a gold. A silver and gold back-to-back result in the Pinkies being second place in the standings. Event 4 was a water race. By the way, let's just stop to admire what a cool track this is. The first heat opens up with Mandarin and Blue Eye going back and forth all the way down the track. The Crazy Cat's Eyes and O'rangers are really starting to become a notable marble rivalry. The Pinkies and Bumblebees move on, while the Raspberry Racers and Minty Maniacs continue to struggle. In the second heat, the Wisps absolutely owned the Savage Speeders with this nasty move, relegating them to the bottom half finish. Mellow Yellow keeps losing and Team Galactic gets dead last. I don't know what happened, but last place is not what this team needs right now. In the finals, the O'rangers won a thrilling race, where Team Primary was so close to taking the lead. Pinkies get yet another medal, while the Gliding Glaciers and Bumblebees also continue their success this season. Every event, I've been updating my power rankings of marble teams, which to me lists the hottest teams or the teams that are the favorites going forward in order. My pre-event 1 power rankings were as follows. Mellow Yellow had to be the favorite after a championship last season, and the Raspberry Racers and Gliding Glaciers were still very high. The O'rangers and Cat's Eyes are where they are because of their overall consistency in Marble League history and their great results in Marble 1. The Speeders were still ranked 3rd due to the fact that they're the speed. The rest of the top 9 were definitely ahead due to past success. I put the Chocolatiers and Bumblebees above the rest of the 7 because of their performance in qualifiers. As we reach the bottom, the Minty Maniacs and Team Primary do not have many expectations for success this season. I had the Pinkies dead last, which of course has drastically changed, as you can see by my new rankings. Through 4 events, the Pinkies are on top of the standings and are second in my power rankings. I still think, as of right now, the O'rangers should be considered the favorite. After a gold medal, they could get on a roll and run away with this competition. The Pinkies are the hottest team right now, with 3 straight medals though. Team Galactic are still massive contenders despite some disappointing performances last couple events. The Savage Speeders are off to a slow start, but in time will get back into the competition. They still need to be seen as a top 4 favorite. The Gliding Glaciers are a team quickly on their way to becoming underrated, as they followed up their bronze from 2021 well so far, currently sitting in close 5th place through 4 events. The Cat's Eyes are sitting in 6th in the standings and my power rankings. They've been decent, but I still believe they have a lot more to show, and will compete till the very end. The Bumblebees have been a very pleasant surprise this year, remaining very consistent to be in 4th place. I have them 7th in the rankings, 4 spots up from the preseason, as they have to prove themselves as a true contender. The Green Dogs have been very Green Duck-like, already with a dead last finish as well as a silver medal. They're going to have to be way more consistent to compete the rest of the season. Next in my rankings, I have 3 former champs, Mellow Yellow, Midnight Wisps, and Raspberry Racers, who have not lived up to their potential this season. Mellow Yellow cannot be ruled out though, as we saw them take the second half of last season by storm en route to a championship. Primary and the Balls of Chaos have shown some flashes, but are still too inconsistent to move up the standings. The Chocolatiers have been lackluster after a stellar qualifiers. Shining Swarm and Minty Maniacs are easily the bottom 2 right now, with the former, to me, being more surprising. I thought after underrated performances in the past few seasons, the Swarm would put up more of a fight this year. We'll see if they can turn it around. For the Minty Maniacs, however, I never had any expectations. Since their fluke 2020 podium finish, they've been consistently near the bottom of every event. Teams like the Hazers or Thunderbolts would have put up a much bigger fight this season. That brings me to my predictions for the end of the season. Here they are. Team Galactic was my pick at the start of the season, and they still are now. I think the Wisps step it up big time. Glaciers and Bumblebees continue their success. I'm sorry, but I do not believe in these Pinkies right now. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but as of right now, I cannot see it. I can't see Green Ducks and Mellow Yellow figuring it out enough, but I expect Shining Swarm to do a little better. You guys know my opinion on the Minty Maniacs. I'd be surprised if they don't get last place. Of course, these are just my predictions. Let me know what you think will happen down below. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing. And if you haven't yet, check out my Marbula 1 video where I rank every team to ever compete in Marbula 1, from worst to best. Thanks again.